Hello everyone, it's VitaVman1 here again, and today I've got an auto sorting system for you. Now, before I do anything, I would like to say I did not make this. Well, I physically built it, but I did not invent this. Someone, I actually can't remember. I think it was like something. I actually cannot remember the name. I'll put a link to in the description to him. But he had this design, and I just decided that it would. Well, I may as well show you. Um, it actually works really, really well. I've done some testing, and it even works. It works in putting multiple stacks through at once. Um, Now, the problem with what he had done is that he didn't actually explain why this system works. He explained why it doesn't glitch, but he did not explain um, the reason why it works at all. So, firstly, you put this is your input chest. This can also be a double chest. Whoops. As you can see, it does work. This is in 13W02B. This is the current snapshot. So there's a hopper here that pulls everything out of here, goes into this dispenser. Now, this dispenser, when there's an item in it, this comparator detects that there's an item in it, so it outputs a redstone signal. Now, because of a bug with the dispensers that has been around since, well, probably, I think it's ever since they existed or something, but if they're receiving a redstone signal, every redstone update they receive, they will spit out an item. So this is a really compact clock, specifically for dispensers. Now you can also remove this block if you had that facing the other way, but it will be constantly firing all the time no matter what. This way it only does it when it's actually running. So the dispenser spits out the item. This water here pushes it towards the edge to stop the items from hopping out of the hopper if they are not meant to be in there, because it hits on the edge of the hopper and so it doesn't fall into it, but it still gets sucked up by the hopper if it is meant to be. So the item goes into the first hopper. Now, if it's accepted, that is. Now this one accepts only sandstone. Now as soon as I put even one item in, it'll be pulled out. Now you'll notice this is not pointing downwards. That is so that because in certain positions, if that's facing down, this will put down, and this will also suck from above it. And so this way, this will not push it down, and so there will always be something in the first slot. So that's the other guy who I got the idea from, well, from the whole build from, that he explained all that. So this hopper sucks out the item, and then it puts it into this hopper, which puts it into the chest. May as well take that back out. Now, when this hopper has more than 22, let me just put it back in. As soon as it gets more than 22, so it gets 23, it will instantly, this signal will travel far enough for this repeater to pick it up. This repeater will turn off this torch, which will allow this hopper to suck the items out of that hopper. But as soon as it gets less than 23, it will stop pulling out the item. And of course, these also can't push out items when they've got a torch, so you'll see there'll always be one of the item you're sorting in this one, always, no matter what. I'm not exactly sure why, but there is. And that's how that works. And so it goes through every single one. I do have ice down here, so the items go through faster. Now, I actually did test this, and I put 2 stacks of each of the items I was sorting in at the same time, and then I placed the hopper. I got rid of the hopper so I could put it all in, and it actually kept up really, really well. It actually had No items during my testing landed in the miscellaneous chest, except for ones that I actually hadn't set up to sort. So this is the miscellaneous one, which doesn't have any circuitry on it, so just everything goes through. Yep. Now, the reason these are all one block apart is not because of the redstone crossing, because it actually will still work perfectly fine. The problem I will show here. Now, this is as close as you can actually get them to each other without them, well, without the torches interacting with each other, without having them directly next to each other, because if you have hoppers next to each other, like this, putting into the chest, they will in fact cross over. So in this case, all the items that get sorted from this one end up in this chest. As you can see here, I was testing it out. There was sandstone and redstone, but this redstone should be in this one, but it's not. Now I shall show you it actually in action. If I put a stack in here, it goes through all the normal sorting system. It goes into this chest, all the way down into this chest. So that's working perfectly fine. Now if I put a stack of redstone in, now we'll eventually get to this hopper. Yep, it is. It might be going into this chest. No, it's not. It's going into this chest. That should not be happening. That's actually a bug. I think it's to do with the fact that it now supports double chests. And of course, when you've got a double chest, it doesn't realize that this is actually two different blocks. This is not a double chest across sideways. And so then, of course, it pulls down and goes all the way down into this chest, which it should not do that. Now, I can show that it will, in fact, pretty much always happen. Let me just get a trap chest as well. Then I put these two hoppers down. Put a trap chest and a normal chest. Whoops. Now I just put this sandstone and this redstone. The hopper's pulling it out, putting it in here. Now, you'll also notice I've got some sandstone in here. That should not be happening. That's because it's getting confused. Now there's redstone in here, and it's getting put in this chest. But the chest it's over here. So that's a really annoying bug in the latest snapshot. I really do hope that that's fixed in the next snapshot, which will in fact be in 5 days for me, as of the time of recording. And I really do hope this gets fixed, because it screws up systems like this. Like, you can just have them one block apart, and that's perfectly fine. But you can't have them right next to each other. So you can't have like a huge wall of chests. They all have to be separated by a block. So it's not required, but required that they fix it. But I really do hope they do. Now, one of the coolest parts of this is the fact that because chests are in fact their hitbox is in fact smaller than a block, you can actually click on the hopper and you can see what it's currently sorting. Let's say I just... This is a trap chest. I'll delete these because I don't need them. But what I can do is if I grab a stack of sandstone, it'll start running. Now if you right click on the hopper, you can actually pretty much you can see what it's currently sorting. So that's really cool. So as you can see, the dispenser is pushing out the items. Now you cannot just directly chuck the items in, because if you put in more than a stack at a time, it will in fact get stuffed up. It'll what'll happen is it'll fill up this, and then it will start filling up this. So then once it gets rid of this, it'll completely get rid of it, because there's still some left in here. And if there's some left in here, it will keep pulling until it's got exactly 22 items. but then there'll be a gap here, and so anything can go into it. Fly. There we go. So you cannot just chuck them in, you have to use a dispenser. So that's the auto sorting system. And in fact, it's pretty survival friendly too, because you don't have to use ice. I'm pretty sure if you replaced it with something else, it would still work. Even on this spot, I think it should. I hope it's going fast enough at this point, but I'm not sure. Because there's currently no legitimate way of getting ice. So, actually, how about we test this? Let's just replace this block with glass. And see what happens if I get, say, a stack of sticky pistons. Put them in there. It'll start sorting. You can see it's sorting the sticky piston. I just love that. That's just so cool. You can see what it's currently sorting. Nope. Has to be ice there. Okay. So if your sorting system is going to be any longer than what water can reach, yeah, you're gonna have to somehow get a slippery block, which you can't exactly do very easily. And it starts automatically as soon as you put the items in. It's really cool. So you do actually have to use ice on these spots. So that sucks. And I don't know how else you could do it. Well, I guess you could drop it down a block. But that would mean the chest would be like flat, and then there'd be a level down, and a level down, and a level down every 8 blocks, and that would be annoying. That would be very annoying. But, in fact, if you can think if there's any way that we could legitimately get ice here in survival, could you please, post a comment on this video and let me know, because I would really like to know, because it would be nice to use this in my survival world. But of course, I can't do that if I can't get ice. Please comment, rate, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. It's VitaVMan1 signing off. Bye. Actually, before I go, I'd just like to say I have been working on my 7-segment display. It's glitching out at the moment. And I think it's actually a bug in the redstone in Minecraft itself, not with my wiring, because it seems completely random when it happens. Like, it always happens in the same actions, but it'll sometimes glitch, sometimes not. But now it's VitaVMan1 signing off. Bye.